Okay, welcome guys to this pre-market analysis. Uh, yeah, so you're just going to look at what you expect this coming week from the 16th of March. Yeah, so as usual, we start with the DXY. Yeah, so I'm going to be looking at DXY and Euro USD, GPB USD. Yeah, because those are the main pairs that we trade. Yeah, so yeah, so we can start with DXY. So I'm going to start now from a weekly perspective, or let me just start from a monthly perspective. We see how uh, we can start from a monthly, but it's not ideal because the month has already started. So, but just to get a sense of direction, where because we are still we are mid-month, so what are the objectives of the month that we expect to see? So far we took out these lows on January 2026. We took out those lows, and that is what we saw on a weekly time frame. Then after taking the lows, we of course we are moving from an external range to an internal range liquidity. So, and you can see here we don't have any monthly fair value gap within this range. And you also realize it's as if you have been in a consolidation. You have been in this consolidation here. So you are in this consolidation, this consolidation. Yeah, so we manipulated the low of the range, of this range, and now uh, we through with this candlestick here we manipulated the low, and we understand the prices of the power of three, power power of three power of three. Yeah, so we have the power of three, and the power of three entails something like this. We have accumulation. This is also called AMD, where we have A for accumulation. Then we have manipulation, the M, manipulation, and the last one is distribution. So this is the power of three, the AMD. So you can see here we were in this, and you can see the phases. We also have phases of price. We have an expansion. So price always starts with an expansion. So we have an expansion, and then we have a consolidation. So after a consolidation, what do we expect? We expect price to go to expand, or to when we are looking at the phases of price, we normally say price always moves from an expansion. We only start with an expansion, and then after an expansion we can go to an accumulation, and then after an accumulation we go to either an expansion again, or uh, a retracement. So yeah, so we those are the phases of we always start with an expansion. So we have an expansion, and then we can have an expansion. Okay, an expansion, and then a retracement, and then an expansion further. That is one. We can also have that is one scenario. And price can also uh, behave like this. We can have an expansion, that way, an expansion, and then a reversal. We can expand upward, then we reverse downwards, or we can have an expansion, then a consolidation, something like that. And then after a we can have this, and then an expansion again. So we can have an expansion, consolidation, expansion, expansion, retracement, expansion, expansion, reversal. Price never goes from a consolidation to a reversal. So you can never find price consolidating and then reversing. And price never goes from a consolidation to a retracement. And that is what we are seeing here in our monthly time frame. Price, we had this expansion to the downwards. We had a consolidation here, and this consolidation, we manipulated the low of the range, and so we took out the liquidity that was lying here, and then we are now distributing. So we expect to see now from a monthly time frame, to see now price coming for this. You can see we have one monthly fair value gap here, which is also a balanced price range, because you also have this fair value gap here. So when you have a fair value gap within a fair value gap, that is called a balanced price range. We also have this other fair value gap here, so which is also a line within this bullish fair value gap. So I expect to see price coming up to this level. That is from a monthly time frame. This may take time. It may happen in April, because we're almost coming to the end of this month. So that is from a monthly time frame. Now we go to 1 week. From a weekly time frame, we see from now this week, the week that has just ended, the week from 9th to 13th of March, we see we are very bullish. So we expect our buyers to continue to be very bullish, and our target is to see now this swing high here taken out, which is also buy side liquidity. So I want to see this high taken out, and within this week. But if it depends with how price will react on money, because you realize you have taken out these equal highs here. From this, we have these equal highs. You have these equal highs. You have those equal highs. So we have already taken, which is also an external range liquidity. So I expect first to see price come back here. So because we have already taken out this, so depending on how on Monday will open, how the prices will open on Monday, I'd like first to see price retracing back a little bit to this, to fill this imbalance here, and then we continue upwards. So I would like to see this first, depending on how we want to see something like that. So yes, we are still bullish, but I would say if this happens, I would like to see something like this, but it depends with how the market will open. So we can see over the weekend there have been some attacks with the geopolitical war that is going on between Israel and Iran and USA. So we can have a market gap opening, the market opening with a huge gap, and you can find we can open with by finding out that price has already taken out this. So we can open with this gap. Price can open at this point. So it depends. So this is subject to review. So going to a daily time frame. Now this becomes this imbalance here still remains, but what you realize is that from a daily time frame, we have these imbalances here. We have this imbalance and this, so I can just highlight them all as one. We have this imbalance, so this would be ideal if you'd see price come back to this imbalance and then continue upwards. Yeah, so that is enough for DXY. So our bias is still bullish, but would like to see this, so that either Tuesday or Monday can form the low of the week, or Wednesday, Tuesday, so that you can have a classic expansion week. And how do we have a classic expansion week which is bullish? We expect price to open, form the low of the week, and then high, and then close, something like that. So, and this is OHC. This is how a bullish candlestick is formed, and this is what we expect to see this week. So I'd like to see this would be better. We see price come back to this fair value gap, fill it, and continue higher. And this remains to be our objective, to see this buy side liquidity taken out, because we are still bullish. Considering we have also FOMC meeting this coming week, so I would stay off the markets until the Wednesday, because we have the FOMC on Wednesday 10 p.m. So, and that is a meeting where we are going to know whether they are going to be interest rate cuts, or they are going to raise the interest rates. So we might find the week the market consolidating tomorrow and Tuesday, considering that we have already had this expansion the whole of last week. So because we have already had this expansion, you can see price after expanding it, you always consolidate. For example, look at this. You had this expansion, then we consolidated, we had another expansion, consolidation, we have this expansion. So expect to see for some time, we expect price to consolidate for quite some time, because we have major news coming in next week or this coming week. Yeah, so if we are bullish for DXY, so it means when we go down to Euro USD and GBP USD, we are bearish. So let us start from a weekly time frame. From a weekly time frame, we still have you realize that last week we were very bearish. So I would expect to see now this swing lows being taken out. So this becomes our drawn liquidity, and this is the sell side liquidity. So I'd like to see price come to this level, take out this liquidity, and yeah, daily time frame, we have this fair value gap here. We have this fair value gap there. So I would expect to see price first retrace a little bit, come back to this fair value gap, and then we continue lower, because you can see we have had a very big expansion. So at the same time, we can have a situation where price will open and then just consolidate, considering that we have the FOMC meeting coming this week. So we can have some consolidation from Monday to Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, we can either manipulate and then continue lower. Yeah, so this is subject to revision depending on how the market will open. But that is why I'm just using the weekly and the daily time frame, not going down to the 1 hour. So we expect to see something like this. Price opens, come back a little bit here. We can have an SMT with euro, then continue down, take out this. Yeah, so expect something like this, so that either Tuesday or Wednesday can form the high of the week, then we can trade through Thursday and Friday as an expansion downwards. There still remains there's still more room for expansion downwards. Yeah, so that is on Euro GBP USD, the same with Euro USD. And this one is a bit more clear on the daily time frame, because on the weekly time frame, okay, something to note, we also have an SMT, because you realize this is the low of okay, this low, that November, and GPB that November is here. You see we have some sort of an SMT. Yeah, because this one has not yet taken out this low well. Euro USD, so this is an SMT, so we are having some SMT here. Smart money divergence, and on Euro, you realize Euro has already taken out the low of 3rd November. Yeah, so we want to see how price will trade on Monday and Tuesday before we can establish our bias, because we don't know whether this SMT is valid, because once you see an SMT, it means one pair is this has already manipulated this low and taken out this liquidity, so we would expect to see price returning back. And you can see we have a fair value gap here. Okay, you have this fair value gap here. You have that fair value gap. It's a bearish fair value gap. So because of this SMT, we can have price returning back here, and then so this is subject to revision, but depending on this, we can stick to a bullish, a bearish bias, but we will have to wait for the market to open on Monday, and we let Monday trade, and depending on how the candlestick of Monday will trade, we will have an idea of what to expect. Yeah, so we'll have to wait through Monday and Tuesday, and then wait for the news to pass, the FOMC meeting, and then we can look for opportunities from Thursday and Friday. Yeah, but I'll review this. Yeah, so in simply, we are still bullish in DXY, so we are bearish in Euro USD and GBP USD. I would love to see this low taken out first, but if it fails, it means we shall be having an SMT with Euro USD. Yeah, so that is all for now. See you guys. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and also comment.